To put it back together here at home. Andrew Stossmeister back on behalf of our entire crew. Glad to have you with us here tonight at Buddy and Anna Meyer Court. Well, the Rattlers picked up a nice overtime victory, snapped a 6-game losing streak last Saturday at International, and I think it was important for Coach Z's team to just kind of get that confidence of a winning mentality once again going and try to propel them for the last 5 games, because we talk about this stretch run. I mean, St. Mary's is 6-11 in conference play. They're currently 13th. Got to be in the top 12 if you want to play in the league tournament, and the Rattlers are 2 games out of 9th right now. So it's a big opportunity this weekend for them. On the other side, Western New Mexico, it's a tough situation once again out there in Silver City. Matt Enriquez has stepped back into the head coaching role, and he's still trying to turn this program into a winner out there once again. The Mustangs haven't had the success that they sustained in the mid-2000s. They're getting closer, but they have to travel the farthest of anybody, and that has always proved to be an up-and-coming challenge. Rattlers and Mustangs do know each other. They played last year here in San Antonio. Western New Mexico got blown out in the second half. Rattlers ended up going on to win by nearly 40 points, 91-56. It was a real solid victory in that game. A couple of current Rattlers, Matej Gaspert had a big game, Marquise Houston as well. But on Western New Mexico's side, it's honestly almost an entirely new look. C.J. Van Beekum is back, but he's the only returning starter and one of 3 guys in total that logged minutes regularly last year. So Western New Mexico started with a head coach this season at the beginning of the season in Matt Cross, but he left after 4 games. Just didn't really work out, was having some health problems is what it sounded like down there. So Matt Enriquez, who was the head coach for the previous 3 years, stepped back into the role after moving on to an administration role, and has been working with his team. And they're playing hard. They've won 3 of their last 5 games, including a win over Arkansas Fort Smith last week. They're playing pretty well, and they are alive as well, as they are 4-10 in league play. They're hoping to steal one on this road trip. They know, obviously, as everybody has talked about it, going up to Austin's a hard place to win. The Hilltoppers have lost twice this season, but everybody kind of targets, all right, we want to load up against St. Mary's. That needs to be the game we want to get. The Rattlers here at home, they have other plans. They're hoping to find a way to beat Western New Mexico for the 6th time in 8 meetings. We'll find that out here shortly. Right now, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, a lot of other things are going on at St. Mary's. We're going to check in on the Rattler Network on the other side. We'll get you back here for tip-off shortly. Western New Mexico and St. Mary's on the men's side coming up on the Lone Star Conference Network.
Hi, I'm Sierra Machado with the Rattler Network, and I'm here with Coach Charlie Mingo. Hi, Coach. I have a few questions for you.
Hi, you bet, yes.
Okay, so my first question is, how do you feel about the opponent being 15th ranked?
Well, we know that West Texas is a very good team. They came in here last year, and we split with them. They won the first 2, we won the second 2. They ended up being a playoff team. They got a lot of guys back, and so we expect it to be a really good test, and we know that they're going to bring in a good team. They're well coached, so we're excited about playing them, but we know it's going to be a good test.
And how has the season been so far?
Well, the season has been good. We played Cameron here the first weekend, and we swept that one, which was good. And then last weekend we went up to Lubbock and won the first 2 games, and then the third game was tight. It ended up beating us 2-1, but we had opportunities, and we just couldn't get the big hit at the right time. So far, I'm very pleased with the guys. I think they're playing hard. We got a really good bunch of character guys, and they're really a pleasure to coach.
And who are your star players, and how have they contributed?
Well, I think we have a number of guys that have done pretty good. Our best hitter has probably been Keaton Milford. He's our first baseman. He's our cleanup hitter. He's just a tremendous hitter. And pitching-wise, we have our starters. We got Anthony Chavez and Dylan Bells, and they did a good job for us. But we had 2 guys that came off the bench, Jacob Kohler, or came out of the bullpen, Jacob Kohler and Mason Minister, who really were just lights out up in Lubbock, and that really made it for a good weekend for us with those 2 guys throwing. Zach De La Garza, he had a shutout in the first series, and struggled a little bit in the second series against Lubbock, and that's where Jacob picked him up. But Zach is a fine young man. He's a hard worker, and we expect him to come out tomorrow and have a great outing. He'll be starting for us.
Okay, thank you so much.
champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
A strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
And we welcome you back to San Antonio, Texas, inside of Bill Greehey Arena as the St. Mary's Rattlers welcome in the Western New Mexico Mustangs. Andrew Stossmeister back on behalf of our crew tonight. Thanks so much for joining us here at Bill Greehey Arena. Let's go ahead and make tonight's starters for the game as the Rattlers and Mustangs meet for the 8th time in the all-time series. It goes back to 1992. The interim head coach is Matt Enriquez. Officially becomes his 4th season. His point guard is Malik Sanders, the 6'1 sophomore of Durham, North Carolina, averaging 11 points a game. That's second best on the team. We'll see Elijah Holyfield as well, the 6'3 senior out of Atlanta, Georgia, transfer candidate out of Prairie View, A&M. Leads the team in scoring at 14.3 points a game. Returning starter C.J. Van Beekum is also back, a senior out of Phoenix, averaging 8 points and 5 boards. We'll see Rodney Simon as well, the 6'9 junior out of Boston, Massachusetts, transfer out of Hillsborough Community College. And then Eddie Giron, originally out of Monterrey, Mexico, will also start, averaging 6 points and 3 rebounds. The Mustangs are 6-17. They are 4-10. Currently in 15th place in the Lone Star Conference of 18 teams. Top 12 make the league tournament in 3 weeks. St. Mary's 10-13. Coach Z now in his 15th season with 228 victories. Starts with Caleb Jordan, who makes his 53rd career start. The 6' sophomore out of Midlothian, Texas. Kobe McGee, the San Antonio product, in his 24th straight start out of right here in San Antonio, averaging 13 points and 5.4 assists per game. That is 3rd best in conference play. Marquise Houston makes his 37th consecutive start for the Rattlers as well, averaging 13 points and 5 rebounds for St. Mary's. Emmanuel Louisier, the 6'7 freshman out of right here in San Antonio, starts for the 9th time this year. He averages 3 points and 6 rebounds. Finally, Lamont Traylor out of Las Vegas, Nevada, averaging 6 points and 4 rebounds, makes his 18th start of his career. The Rattlers are 6-11 in conference play, currently in 13th, so that makes them on the outside looking in. They've got to find a way to win some games down the stretch. 5 to go for both sides coming in to this game. Rattlers and Mustangs did play last season in a non-conference game after Western New Mexico went into Austin. Played actually very well that day. Lost ultimately to the Hilltoppers. People didn't know how good St. Ed's was going to be, but then they came here to St. Mary's and kind of got it handed to them, as Coach Enriquez remembers. He said that was not a fun trip. And I can't imagine, he said, look, we're back here for a little bit of revenge. We got to play well, and we know that we've got 5 games left. We can make this conference tournament. People did not expect us to make it. They were picked last in the preseason. It'd be huge if they could find a way. And they know that if they're going to do that, they gotta steal a couple of them on the road, starting with tonight. The purple jerseys tonight for Western New Mexico, St. Mary's in the home whites. And for St. Mary's, they know about with 5 to go. How about playing a little bit better at home? That's the mantra. The guys are trying to get it going in their favor on their home court. They've had success. They practice here. I know they practice in the back as well. Here, the 2 courts that are back there, but they're looking to put it together here tonight. In the center circle, Lamont Traylor is ready to go. Rodney Simon, the junior out of Boston, Massachusetts. Joked with him a little bit before the game, and I said, you're a long way from home, aren't you? He's like, yeah, but now they're playing basketball. And at Western, we get to travel all over this area. That's the longest travel time of anybody, and this is not the long road trip for them. The Fort Smith one is the ways that you can go. That's a 15, 16-hour trip. This one's about 13. And Fort Smith this year had to actually make the travel to Western New Mexico. As the opening tip got knocked out of bounds, St. Mary's will get to have it first. They go right to our left, averaging 75 points a game. But if you look a little closer, the numbers say it's almost 10 less in home games this season. Caleb Jordan with it right now. Jordan looking around at Kobe McGee. Those guys have played really well. They were big in the victory on Saturday at International in overtime as Caleb's first shot hangs and won't go. Rebound away to C.J. Van Beekum for Western New Mexico. The Mustangs, they can score it okay. They're in the 70s, 74 a game, but they have the worst defense in the league by points per game. They give up 83.5. So, translation, they score it. They don't stop people very well. Holyfield, three-pointer, straight on, good. Holyfield's 58th triple of the season. That was a point of emphasis coming in. And Coach Z and Bubba Meyer on the bench looking, saying, hey, we know what the scouting report says. Guard 12 close. He can shoot it from forever. As that ball is knocked out of bounds by Western New Mexico, stays right here with the Rattlers. But I think, again, a chance for St. Mary's to build a little bit. Got a victory on Saturday at International after being in the game at Kingsville as well. Came down to the last few minutes. Did not play well in that stretch as Lamont Traylor goes for the dunk and is fouled from behind. Lamont will go to the line for 2 shots. But it's, a solid week last week of some good things. Now it's about building. And again, I've talked to Coach Z and Bubba about this a lot this year. They know that maybe they haven't gotten to where they want to. Everything, and I do mean everything, is still out there for their goals that they want to accomplish. It's obviously much harder, but, put together a nice little run here. I mean, you're gonna feel pretty good about it. A, you're gonna get into the league tournament. B, you're gonna beat some good teams to do so. St. Mary's is not gonna lose and get your way in. That's I think the big thing that everybody really likes about the Lone Star is that, if you're not winning games, you're not getting into the league tournament at the end of the year. It's set up that way as the press is beaten. Rodney Simon scores. And just like that, a couple of buckets out there for Western New Mexico. They lead it 5-2 here in the first minute and a half of action from Buddy and Annenmeyer Court inside of Bill Greehey Arena in San Antonio, Texas. On the right side, McGee and Marquise Houston working the 2-man game. Man-to-man start for Western. They've really played a lot more 2-3 under Coach Enriquez now. As Caleb Jordan, 15-footer, rattles in his end. Caleb's averaging 15 a game. Had 18 points in the win on Saturday, 10 in the loss to Kingsville last Thursday. 1-point game right here. And, we talk about it all the time. Fast starts, how important are they? Well, they matter, but when you start looking at numbers, they start to fall away a little bit. We just watched Western New Mexico's women's team win for the second time in 16 games after trailing at halftime, and they trail by 11. Big win for them. St. Mary's, when they've led at halftime, they're 10-2. They have not won the 11 times they have trailed at half. So, you look at the first 20 minutes, they mean a little bit more as Awuzie has the rebound and a foul from behind by Rodney Simon off that missed 3-point attempt. As both teams kind of looking on, it'll be the first substitution, and Dylan Eisenhower subs in at the 17:43 mark. Lamont Traylor will come out and chat with assistant coach Bubba Meyer over there on the bench. Rattlers and Mustangs, they do know each other, but it's been a while since they played as conference foes. Back in 2005, 2006, they played 3 times. That was the most they played as Houston's 3 rattles up and out. Back out to Caleb Jordan. Offensive rebound for 3. It's short. Dylan goes for the tip in. Missed it. Ball is still free. Awuzie dives on the deck, pulls it in, and throws it a little bit low of Dylan Eisenhower. And St. Mary's will turn the ball over. here at the 17-22 mark. But, you go back and you look at it again, same concept on the men's side. You're not really familiar with this team. And, Matt Henriquez, these are not players that he recruited at all. In fact, he's got 4 or 5 guys out there that he recruited when he was the head coach. But when you bring in a new guy like normal, it's pretty typical that things kind of turn over a little bit. And Matt Cross brought in most of these guys. He's actually, a couple of them have since quit or moved on or whatever. Roster's changed at this point since he stepped away. But Coach Henriquez is coaching the guys up that are here. And I tell you what, man, the guy knows what he's doing. He does good things with his group. Just, they got a lot of challenges to overcome out there in Silver City as the Rattlers turn it over on back-to-back sets. Other end is Eddie Giron to the left, driving down the lane, hanging for 2 is Foleyfield, and he knocks it in. Talented shooter, certainly out of Atlanta, Georgia originally. Played Division I ball, Prairie View. As Kobe McGee's first 2 of the night is good. Kobe's got some KT tape out there on that left shoulder this evening. 1-point game, 3.5 in. As Giron with his 14th triple of the season hits it. A couple of good threes to start this game on the other end, and Kobe McGee answers, and that's where you really like it for St. Mary's, that it's, hey, you got some points, now let's get stops. I mean, I think that's what's so interesting in this game when you talk to the coaching staffs about what is their approach. Do you want to score or do you want to stop people? And I think that's where it's, again, St. Mary's, you want to stop people. Keep working over to it as Kobe McGee trying to work with his younger teammate and Emmanuel Awuzie about, hey, got to keep moving your feet a little bit. The Rattlers get called for their first foul of the game right there with M. Inbounds back out there as Malik Sanders working one-on-one with Kobe McGee in the man-to-man defense is Matej Gaspard subs in and knocks the ball free. Jordan to Kobe inside the lane. He missed it short. And a rebound to Giron underneath for Western New Mexico. That's a good move down low by Caleb as Kobe left it just a little bit off to the right side. Rattlers, 10 wins, 13 losses. Inside the lane, big fella Simon to work, and he scores. Second bucket for him in 2 tries. Lead to 3, both teams efficient offensively. Western New Mexico is at 5 of their first 6 as Caleb Jordan wide open at the lane, shoots and scores, and you can hear Matt Henriquez on the other side saying, come on, guys. I mean, that was a very long let out. Come on, as Kobe McGee strips the ball away from Malik Sanders, and then it's taken away by Holyfield on the baseline, drops it off to the big 6'9", Rodney Simon, who scores. Now, Rattlers almost good ideas. Coach Z and Bubba Meyer studying what's going on right now as Gaspard at 6'11", misses, gets his own rebound, goes up strong and scores. Should have been an and one. Good job by Matt as he's able to finish at the rim in a 1-point game. Rattlers, though, again, finally an efficient start to this game for them. They've shown that so much. I mean, this team is talented offensively, folks. As Rodney Simon starts the game hot, he's 3 for 3. But, I mean, you talk about that for St. Mary's. It's having some success on offense, the way they know they can. I mean, we've talked about it already that, they were so good in December. Why is that not carried over? Well, you're in the long part of the season, but you get great looks like that. Matt Gaspard scores again, and the Rattlers are 6 of 11 to start the game. It's a 1-point game. Both teams are offensively feeling pretty good to begin. Sanders, lob underneath. You kidding me? That's too easy. Rodney Simon scores. But Coach Z and Bubba Meyer over there going, nah, not a big fan right now. 18-15 our score. Western New Mexico has missed 1 shot to start this game. Not bad for Coach Matt Henriquez in the interim role. He's the internal operations director right now in the administration role, but said he'd step in to help out. They are currently underway with a national coaching search with the program. As the shot is no good, Houston, the tip in from behind, fouled, and we'll head to the line for 2 shots on the other side of our first media timeout. 18-15, Western New Mexico leads St. Mary's. We're back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Network. Hey fans, check out the official Rattler Network. You can find us on social media. Instagram gets all set up. Check out St. Mary's and the Rattler Network. Appreciate it, Robert, for making the runs out for us here on court. But all kinds of cool stuff. Students working hard. You got to check it out. We got giveaways. Last I heard, Starbucks cards. Come on, follow us. Get set up with everything at the Rattler Network for St. Mary's University. Right here back inside Bill Greehey Arena. It's 18-15. Western New Mexico on fire to start this game. 8 of 9. They've hit a couple of threes, but already Rodney Simons at double figures. He's got 10 points. He's got 5 buckets. And, I was waiting to see, want to see the reaction over there as players respond. As, St. Mary's has come out. They've equally been strong. They are 6 of 10 to begin the game offensively. That's a good start for them. But, now it's, hey, we got to settle in and hunker down and play some defense. Marquise Houston is at the line shooting 2 shots. Marquise 10 for his last 11. My bad, Marquise, in his last 5 now plus games. Marquise 74% on the season, double figures in 6 of his last 7. Marquise was strong in overtime in the victory on Saturday. Second toss is good. Lane violation first. Rattlers fell across the line. Matt underneath, so that does not count. 3:42 to play. Again, Coach Z and Bubba, again, they're going back to, that discipline thing. They've been trying to work on that with the guys and just stay relaxed, play some basketball. Inside, pass deflected. Matt Gaspard, great defense underneath. Good job, big fella. Took the ball away from Simon, who was thinking dunk. Jordan's open, three-pointer, too strong. Rebound by Marquise, who is cutting to the line, reached out his right arm and got slapped at and fouled. Be team foul number 3 on the visitors out of Silver City, New Mexico. 705 miles, by the way, between San Antonio and the Silver City town, built railroad town years ago. As Rodney Simon goes out, he's limping. Big fella looks like rolled an ankle a little bit. Holding on to the either calf, trying to stretch out a little bit. Going to get him some water as Sanders also goes out. New players that sub in. I get Pelliser, who's got his first minutes, and Hohenstein also out there. Underneath, Eisenhower, jump stop on the left block. Ball swatted away, gets it back inside the two-pointer. Kiss off the window is good. Good job by Dillon to stay with it, and we stay at 1 point difference between the Mustangs and Rattlers. St. Mary's trying to find league win number 7, try to get a little bit closer. As Avalos in some trouble, finds Holyfield. Step back 3 is good, my goodness. That kid's got a good shot, doesn't he? 8 points. He's 3 of 4 tonight. Again, Western New Mexico has missed twice, by the way, okay? Great start for them on the road, making it their comfort spot. Marquise, the answer at the other end. Good from downtown. Marquise with his 58th triple of the season. That leads St. Mary's. Top 5 in several offensive categories, 3-point shooting-wise, in the Lone Star Conference. Answer at the other end, though, from Elijah Holyfield. That's 10 points for him in the first 7.5 minutes. 23-20. Coach Bubba and Coach Z over there going, who's going to play defense first? I mean, it looks like they're both watching a chess match that's accelerated into something like phase 10 right now. Shot underneath is no good. Matt Gaspard, the follow tip. He missed the shot, but he is fouled. Underneath by Hohenstein, the sophomore to Veracruz. And he will head to the line for 2 shots, does big fella Matt Gaspard. 1 for 3 at International. It's good to see Matt get to the free throw line. Had not been there in 7 previous games. First toss is good. Matt is 14, make it 15 of 25 now in the season. 63%. Rattlers trying to find a 4th home victory this season in 11 tries. Second toss, good. Lane violation. I don't know if they got Marquise who would come across or whatnot, but Coach Z is going, what's up? I think he was looking over at Dylan Eisenhower. I guess maybe Dylan had crossed. It's 2 free points the Rattlers are missing right now. By the way, that's the difference in the game. That's why Coach Z not happy about it. Avalos with it, attacking half court right. Western New Mexico in the purple tonight. St. Mary's in the home whites. Holyfield with 10 right now. Lobs it underneath. Hohenstein pulls it down, fakes left, back right, back onto the perimeter. 5 on the shot clock. Deep 3 for Holyfield. Nothing but net on its way down. He is 3 of 4 from downtown. Western New Mexico averages 8.8 threes per game. They've got 4 of them in the first 7.5 minutes of gameplay. Jordan back to Marquise Houston. Three-pointer is good, and the Rattlers are 3 of 4 from downtown. They keep it close at 2 points. Rattlers have been able to match the offense in large part. They are 9 for 18 in this game. Western New Mexico, though, is scorching the court right now. 11 for 12 officially. There's their second miss. Ball freed up, though. Offensive rebound, kick back out. Holyfield for 3 is good. Can't give up free chances. Alfredo Rodriguez, who's a big guy that will play some for this team, likes to chase things down. That time, it was Pelliser who pulled it back and kicked out the assist. Caleb Jordan in the lane, knocks over a man and got a blocking foul. I wonder that time, we'll have to check on that replay and try to maybe see that on the other side of the timeout. But it looked to me like Hohenstein was trying to take the charge, but I think he backed in underneath that center circle. We'll catch that replay on the other side. 10:50 to go, media timeout. Western New Mexico by 4. St. Mary's shooting 2 free throws when we come back. This is Rattler basketball, 4-point game on the Lone Star Conference Network.
What's up, Rattler? How are you doing? Brandon here again, but I'm also here with our student spotlight guest, Andrea. So what are some of the responsibilities that you do here?
Hey y'all, so what I've been recently doing with the athletics department is helping out with the halftime game shows, doing more to get students involved on campus within the sports and recreational realm, and just making sure that the students are having a good time while they're at the games, whether that be tailgates, sponsored events, halftime shows, etc.
And how did this all come about for you?
So I met the athletic director, Rob, over at a law school event. We were talking about student pay for student athletes. And so we got to talking about sports and entertainment and just how the law school can kind of partner with the athletic department to start seeing an increase in games, engagement, and making sure the students are getting what they're wanting.
Well, definitely. Can't wait to work hand in hand with you. And this is us signing off with the Rattler Network. We'll see you later.
See ya.
To 24. Good job with that Rattler Network. Pretty cool to see what's going on there as the Rattlers just try to get it in, and instead they turn the ball over. Andrew Leonard, who just subbed in for Western, takes the ball away underneath at the other end. Avalos shoots and misses. He'll head to the line for 2 shots. Today's game is presented by Star Shuttle and Charter, the exclusive transportation provider of St. Mary's Athletics. Star Shuttle and Charter, they go the distance for you. 29-24. Unbelievable start, really, in a lot of ways to this game. Western New Mexico has missed twice. That technically counts as their 3rd miss of the game as Avalos misses the free throw. Jaron Presley ready for his first minutes of the night, joining Zach Keller, Dylan Eisenhower, along with Kobe McGee, and then Lamont Traylor is back in underneath. Avalos, 23 of 35 now on the year, makes his 2nd free throw, a 67% foul shooter. 6-point game, and I say unbelievable because Western New Mexico is 12 of 14 in this game. Kobe McGee and company looking to go to work at the 3-point line, wide open. Kobe fires a 3, missed it. Underneath, Lamont Traylor takes the ball away, and Eisenhower has it back. New chance to work with for St. Mary's. Rattlers working with it right now. Kobe McGee's got it. 10:08 to play. 3-pointer in the right corner as Dylan Eisenhower knocks it down, and another big answer for St. Mary's from the perimeter. Rattlers are 4 of 6 from behind the arc. Feeling it from outside. They have matched the offensive intensity in this game, and they get a chance to set up the full-court press, 1-2-2 variety. See if Western New Mexico can make it as Presley and Leonard get tangled up. Foul number 3 is called on St. Mary's. Well, Jaron didn't make much contact there, but enough to draw the foul from the baseline official. 3-point game. St. Mary's has not led in this one. It's been a couple of points per, though, as Zach Keller nearly knocked it free. Good effort over there by Zach to get close. Getting more of a smaller lineup right here for Coach Z and company. Inbounds to Leonard. Ball deflects, and Avalos has it. He gets it across midcourt, pushing it to his left. The hottest man out there, Holyfield, missed it. Another offensive board. Hohenstein gives it up, and a 3-pointer from Andrew Leonard. Holy cow. When Western has missed, they've collected the rebound 2 out of the 3 times, folks. I mean, that's points on 15 of 16 possessions. That's nuts. 33-27. Pull-up two by McGee is off. Rebound deflects over the backboard out of bounds. And it will stay with, it looks like, Western New Mexico with 9:24 to go. Well, the Mustangs, as we mentioned, playing pretty good basketball as of late. They had a tough stretch. They lost 8 in a row at one point. But they've won 3 of their last 5, including a win last week. They beat Fort Smith at home. Again, we mentioned that's the longest travel from Silver City Plus. As Presley can't believe it, he's got his arms extended, looking on there as Avalos just ran right into him. You know, and for Jaron, that's one of those things got to continue to learn and say, you know, sometimes you just got to get out of the way. Otherwise, either stand there and take that charge. As Jaron goes out, 2 fouls, Marquise Houston comes back in. And, you know, one thing I really like about Jaron, he's got, you know, good court awareness. That time just got beat to the spot by somebody that was coming hard and said, I'm coming at you. What are you going to do to stop me? And, you know, you either get out of the way or you take a try to take a charge. Nice steal over there at the other end as Zach Keller lays it up and in. Dylan Eisenhower creates the steal and gets the ball down to his teammate. Keller has not scored in many games this year, but pretty good moment for Zach right now as he brings St. Mary's back within 4. Malik Sanders is also back out there for Western New Mexico. Again, we have not seen their big fella, Rodney Simon, who started 5 for 5, come back in after playing his first 6 minutes and then leaving with an apparent injury. Avalos misses. The ball comes right back to him, and then he throws the ball out of bounds. That was kind of one of those bad to worse, and I'm not sure I should have gotten that, so ball gets away. Again, that's one of the few times Western New Mexico has missed to start this game. Both teams offensively feeling pretty good to begin this game. 4-point affair with 8:34 to play. Marquise Houston with it right now, the team's leading scorer with 8. 7 from Matei Gaspert quickly. Underneath, the flush for 2 as Lamont Traylor hammers it home. Oh, what a find up top for the Rattlers. Kobe McGee. That's why he's one of the best, and that time he lets Avalos go by him. That's what you can do. As a foul is committed by St. Mary's on the other end, but you take a look at the replay on that dunk from St. Mary's. That's what it takes where you just have guys continuing to work together and understand where you're at. I mean, that's a big moment where McGee finds dude that can sky underneath in Lamont. And again, just having that kind of that home dunk ability. Haven't seen that much. I know the Rattlers have tried to, you know, really keep fans engaged and done a good job. There's a number of them here again tonight. Another good crowd. You know, getting a chance to watch. It's like, you know, you want to see that. You want to continue to play well here at home. Rattlers have almost kind of beaten that formula everybody talks about, right? Well, if you lose on the road, you know, nobody knows. They don't watch the game necessarily unless, you know, family members, you know, things like that. You may not, if you're not a regular follower, you can say, okay, well, I went to the home game last week and they played really well. You know, maybe they just didn't play that well, didn't have a good road game. Well, St. Mary's has played much, much better away from Bill Greehey Arena, and I know that's definitely bothersome to Coach Z, and, you know, talk to Bubba about that. These guys want to win here. Don't be mistaken. They're working and giving everything they've got. Ball deflected out of Marquise's hands. Leonard takes over. He looks like he's chasing it down right now. Finds it over to Hohenstein. Western New Mexico a little quick to the hoop, and Avalos lays it up and in. That's his first official field goal of the game. And the lead restored to 4. Jordan looking for the alley underneath. Threw it way too low for Emmanuel, and a foul is called on Caleb Jordan. He's kind of looking back going, what'd I do? Quite honestly, that was just, you know, great idea. The thought process was there from Caleb, but I think that was supposed to be an oop, and he just flat out whiffed. 7:38 to go here in this first half. 35-31. We'll take a timeout. Back in 60 seconds in San Antonio on the Lone Star Conference Network.
We've been around for a while, and we know how to build a fresher pizza. A real pizza, one made with real fresh and real flavor. A pizza made with different toppings and the unique taste from our culture. And of course, a commitment to better, fresher dough and ingredients. We built a pizza culture where you can fill up on flavor without emptying your wallet. A culture that is quickly becoming the flavor of the neighborhood. Real fresh, real flavor. That's Pizza Patron.
Scams, corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions,
and to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable.
7:38 to play here in half number one, 35-31. Western New Mexico leading St. Mary's. The Mustangs are 14 of 18 to start this game, 6 of 8 from downtown. Rattlers have been impressive on offense also, 12 of 23. That's 52%. Got 5 turnovers, though. Each team is kind of giving it up a few times. Out of the timeout, Jordan, Gaspert, Eisenhower, Keller, and Houston, as Avalos left it short. Rebound, Zach Keller and St. Mary's. Rattlers doing a good job on the boards. They are +5 right now. We talk about it so much. St. Mary's, when they win games, they win the boards. When they lose on the boards, they have not won this year. That's been one of the things is Gaspert getting held by 2 people underneath. Fouled. Team foul number 7, I do believe. So that should take him to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Matt had not caught the ball yet, so he will attempt the 1-and-1. Matt was there just a couple of moments ago. Made his free throw. Can he have the bonus? Tosses up. It is good. And this is what, you want to see from, a fellow that's 6'11", right? Be aggressive inside. Matt has kind of added, I think, that three-point element this year, which has been cool to watch. I mean, you see it all the time if you watch the NBA because there's 6'11", 7-foot guys that are shooting that. But at the same time, it's, make sure you keep using your strength. Matt has got length that nobody can cover down low for Western New Mexico. There's nobody out there. Rodney Simon can challenge him, but Simon has not been back out there. He's still trying to warm up the legs. I don't know if he got a cramp or what, but he looks like he's okay. Sure, Western New Mexico would like to get him back out there. Holyfield's kind of holding things together, though, as he knocks down another shot. He's got 18 points in the first half. You kidding me? 6:50 to play. He has been on fire tonight. That was a 2-pointer, by the way. 7 of 10 from the field. Caleb Jordan working half-court left. Strip taken away by Avalos. 3-on-2 for Western New Mexico. Spacing it out, Sanders. Malik Sanders, left side. Holyfield this time much better closeout by Eisenhower. Avalos is open straight on for 3. It's left, and Keller has another rebound. Second of the game for Zach. 37-33. Well, the 13-hour drive has not affected Western New Mexico at all as Marquise Houston connects from downtown for the 3rd time tonight. That's the 12th time this season. Marquise has 3 threes or more in a game. He's done a good job with that as Western New Mexico will back it up. Up top right now is Leonard working on Eisenhower. Trying to create some room, contact, air ball. Great defense by Dylan Eisenhower as Marquise Houston takes the ball away. Down court to Keller. Around the world again goes to Dylan. Baseline drive cut off by 2 defenders. Dylan finds an open teammate. Keller is open. The three-pointer is good for the freshman out of right here in San Antonio by way of Johnson High School. Zach Keller's 3rd triple of the season. And Matt Enriquez calls for time. Rattlers have their first lead of the game. It's a 6-0 run. We'll stay here this time, 39-37, and the Rattlers keeping that offense going. They're doing some really good things. Seen so much from them offensively. That defense hasn't quite kicked in, but a couple of really nice stops has been important as fans getting a chance to enjoy a little February basketball. Always the best time outside of the month of March. February's fun because everybody's talking stretch. Who's in it? Who's out? Who can make it? A lot to play for here tonight. We talk about that. Rattlers are in 13th place coming in. The top 12 teams will make it. The top 4 teams actually won't have to play that first day. It'll have teams 5 through 12 kind of jockey out for the last 4 positions, and then everybody goes to Dallas and Frisco, and it'll be a party, as it sounds like. And I think the conference has been very competitive all year long as Gaspard somehow got matched up underneath on the guard of Eddie Giron and fouls. That's team foul number 7 on the Rattlers. I think it was in the act of shooting, though, so definitely be at least 1 free throw. We'll see if it's 2. I think they called it just a reach-in, so it'll be the 1-and-1 variety. Right now on the floor, but, you go back and you say, okay, all right, the Rattlers currently in 13th, a couple of games out of 9th. As the free throw is good, Jerome makes sure there's no question. Western New Mexico 15th. You know, they know that their schedule is daunting, honestly, to try to move up. I mean, there's a lot of log jams right now in this conference. I mean, they're 2 games out of 12th place. You know, right now sitting in 15th. I mean, that's the way it works. Now, they know after they get both of those free throws to tie the game up that, you know, Saturday is going to be a heck of a lot harder challenge. That's why they try to really bring in and have everything ready to go for tonight. As Marquise, I think, pushed off a little bit. And a foul is called, the 8th team foul on St. Mary's for Marquise. That's his first. But, you know, it's exciting. I mean, this is the time where everybody, you know, a lot of people, basketball, you know, not as exciting in November as Eisenhower takes away the ball at the other end, a foul before the ball ever came in, and Caleb Jordan was holding on to Tony Avalos, so that'll be Caleb's second. But, you know, you start saying, you know, November, you kind of get your feet wet. December, maybe taking in a game or two if you're the casual fan. But, you know, come this time in February, it's exciting. Everybody's got a lot to play for. This is where teams really, they fall in and really try to make a run, or some will say they start getting ready for baseball season. Working out Caleb Jordan's deal as he goes out. Keller comes right back in. Zach's had a nice start to this game, and Avalos takes advantage of the bonus. 4 points for the sophomore to Las Cruces, New Mexico. Keller comes out now. This time it looks like is going to get Noah Lang some minutes here tonight. 20th game of the season for Noah. Free throw is up and good from Tony Avalos. Fans, don't forget, stick around at halftime. I believe Jason Martins is going to join us, have some comments from him here at the break. Tough loss for his group tonight as they fall in overtime here to Western New Mexico. Down court quickly, and nobody steps in front of Elijah Holyfield, who scores. He's got 20 points at halftime. 5:09 to go, folks. Holyfield already with his 7th 20-point game of the season. Season high is 31, by the way. Put that up against Tarleton State. But he has not been slowed down. He's 8 of 11, 4 of 6 from behind the arc. Ironically, you know, you see a lot of people wondering, like, hey, what's the difference between guys getting 20, 30, maybe even, you know, to getting to the next plateau, 40? I mean, there's not a lot of people that do that, but you know where they're getting it done is the free throw line. I mean, that's the big thing that misses from that. As Houston's off-balance three waved into the arms that time of Giron. Down court to Avalos. Holyfield for 3. Jeez, what a job by that young man. The Atlanta, Georgia product can't miss. A little bit of a fist pump over there on the bench from some of his guys, including Tyler Tafoya, longtime assistant over there. I think this is year number 5 now for Tyler as Marquise fires an air ball. You know, there's some frustration, I'm sure, as Dylan Eisenhower, good job working hard down low. But this is by far, this is a game of offense, to say the least. Western New Mexico, 17 of 24. That's a scorching 71%, folks. That is silly good. Inside the lane, no-look pass. Great pass and fine Hohenstein, but an offensive foul. That was a great move. Giron went hard and then eventually ran into 2 St. Mary's defenders, and it all kind of fell off a little bit. So St. Mary's will take over. It does become the 8th team foul, by the way, on the other side for Western New Mexico. Fans shop East Bay for the latest brand name shoes, apparel, and more. They've got a loyalty club, 90-day returns, and a fit promise guarantee. Gear up your game today at eastbay.com. 5-point lead for Western New Mexico. Out wide is Keller is open, but he won't get to shoot because an offensive foul. Marquise went too hard inside and ran into a player for Western New Mexico. We'll take a timeout, media break, final one of the first half, 46-41. Mustangs leading the Rattlers. Back with more next on the Lone Star Conference Network.
A strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Scams, corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions,
and to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable.
3:53 to play here in this first half. Rattlers down 46-41. Andrew Stossmeister back on behalf of our entire crew tonight. Thanks so much for joining us at Buddy and Annenmeyer Court. Get a little baseball pass the other length of the court. Shot is up. It is rejected away. Van Beek missed. Keller's got the block and the rebound. Matt got a piece of it as well. And the Rattlers back on offense. St. Mary's 54% right now. They're shooting the ball well. Gatto and the other team shooting 70. As the Rattlers turn the ball over and a bad fall over there underneath by Western New Mexico. It was a painful spill that time, and you could just see as Jerome went down and tries to get up, kind of landed awkwardly on his hip. See if he's all right and ready to go. Looks like he is. Looks like he'll at least stay out there. By the way, still Rodney Simon over there on the bench at the extension is kind of standing around. He's kind of staying loose, but not coming out there. So I don't know if he's ready to go now or Matt Enriquez is saying, hey, take it easy. 5-point advantage for the Mustangs. Ball deflected, taken in by Marquise Houston. Marquise with it, out to Zach Keller. Kobe McGee in the corner. He's got 4 to shoot. Back out to Marquise, who's bumped. 3-pointer's no good, and a foul is called. Avalos is going, what? I mean, he made contact. We'll take a look at that replay, but, you know, that was one of those plays as Marquise was getting ready to launch that 3-point shot that he saw contact coming, and he does such a great job. He kind of uses his right leg to protect himself and leans back that if there's any kind of contact, it's going to knock him over. I mean, good shooters understand that as Marquise misses at the foul line. He's unhappy. He's missed both tries tonight as the second one is good. Marquise, a 74% free throw shooter. Third toss is good, so Marquise goes 2 for 3. Once again, 3-point game. A lot of offense in this game as Avalos is fouled. That's team foul number 10, so good job by Tony Avalos. And you know, I think St. Mary's is still having a hard time again trying to figure that out. Avalos has continued to run right in front of us on the sideline, and kids that are that quick just have that ability. As Alfredo Rodriguez sitting a little closer to Coach. I always joked with Matt Enriquez. I mean, we've known each other from RMAC days, actually. But I said, when are you going to use a big 7-2 over there? He says, he's kind of coming along. I mean, you got a guy like that on your bench. You see him start running up and down the court. You go, whoa. Avalos with the first one in, ready for number 2. Toss is up, and it is good. Avalos missed 2 of his first 3. He has not missed since then. He's settled down nicely at the free throw line. Western New Mexico's lead has been as large as 7. It's played about 4 points most of this first half. Both teams offensively have done a good job. As Noah Lang, nice ball fake. Missed it, though. Rattled up and out, and Lamont Traylor won the rebound, but official on the baseline said he pushed. And Coach Bubba Meyer is not real happy. Coach Z also expressing his frustration. 3:04 to play here in this first half. Remember that number we talked about. Rattlers, you know, when they trail at halftime, they've not won a game in 11 tries. You know, they've had a good start to this game, though. Offensively, really put it together. Western New Mexico's just outscored them. Elijah Holyfield had a monster game in the first half. Most people would be pretty happy with his numbers for the game. Free throw is good. Double bonus from Hohenstein. As he hits that one, he'll get one more. Hohenstein now 6 for his last 7 at the stripe. 6'7" sophomore to Veracruz, Mexico originally. Spent some time in El Paso for the end of his high school career. Gets both shots. 3 minutes to go. It's a 7-point lead. Matches the largest for Western New Mexico. still shooting lights out in this game. They're 7 of 11 from downtown, but 9 of 12 at the free throw line. Emmanuel Awuzie has come back in. Kobe McGee with it, attacking half court left. Kobe working on a man-to-man basis right now, out to Noah Lang. Noah looking where to go, comes out to Marquise. The leading scorer with 13 points, has 4 to shoot, pulls up from the 15-foot line. It's deflected. Noah Lang gets it to hit the rim. Ball is still free as Keller slips on the deck and wheels it in. And it'll be a jump ball call with Western New Mexico gathering in possession. Good job by Keller to go earn the extra possession that time, but time just kind of didn't have anywhere to go after he grabbed the ball. And it's nice to see Zach getting some more minutes tonight. And they have been up at times. He had 6 minutes in the international game, didn't score. He's got 5 here tonight. Put up 7 in the Bethany game, got to play a little bit more, but he's another kid that I think Coach Z and Bubba Meyer are pretty high on. They like his ability. He's a local kid, played for his dad over at Johnson High School. Rattlers need to find a way to get some stops. We've been talking about that. Who's going to play a little bit of defense first, because both teams offensively are feeling it. Holyfield with his heat check. Are you kidding me? Holy cow. I mean, again, every shot he makes, you just kind of look and go, wow. That kid is talented. Averages 14 points a game. Very inconsistent. I mean, he had 2 points in the game against Arkansas Fort Smith last week. He had 23 in the Eastern New Mexico game. He's got 26 points at halftime. Marquise Houston back to the right side. 3-pointer. Kobe McGee short. And Awuzie and Noah Lang knocked it out of each other's hands, but it looked like they might have deflected it off of Hohenstein. So the Rattlers will catch a break there. Have an opportunity, at least it looks like. Shot clock reset to 20. $1:48 to play. St. Mary's down 9 points. They have had few chances to lead for very long. Rattlers had a 2-point lead a couple of times, but it wasn't a long-standing lead. Zach Keller down the lane, drops it off inside to Emmanuel Awuzie. Emmanuel can't get the ball out, and it's taken over by Western New Mexico. Good defense by the Mustangs. They go back down court with 85 to play, and Holyfield launches a 3. Oh, my goodness, he missed. That's how good he has been tonight, folks. I mean, he has not missed but 4 times in 14 attempts. That's silly good. Ball freed up on the court as Noah Lang knocks it to Zach Keller. St. Mary's will get the possession. Lang around to Kobe McGee. Baseline drive out to Keller. Wide open 3-pointer is good from downtown. Good find by Kobe McGee for his 3rd assist of the game, his 128th of the season. And Zach Keller has a new career high in his early days at St. Mary's for the freshman with 8. Oh man, that ball is in. Nice job up front. But again, St. Mary's, as good as they've been on offense, trailing the play a little bit defensively. And you take a look at that. I mean, a great find on the baseline by Kobe McGee, kicking the ball back out to Zach Keller for 3 points. Chance at the line for C.J. Van Beekum, who just got the and one opportunity. He makes it. Dylan Eisenhower coming back in. Don't forget, we'll have a short break, and then we come back at halftime. Jason Martin's going to chat with us. His team does go down tonight in overtime. They had quite a couple of big swings in that game. Mounted a furious rally to force overtime, and then gave up a 9-0 run and came back subsequently. Looked like they had things back to almost control, but just ran out of a little gas late, so we'll talk to Coach here in just a couple of minutes. 56 points out there for Western New Mexico in this first half. Again, it doesn't seem like they've missed much. Holyfield's got 26. Simon still is on the bench. Now he's sitting down. Again, he had 10 in the first 6 minutes, has not played since. Zach Keller for 3 is good. Zach Keller had 2 threes coming into the game tonight. He has got 3 of them this evening. Shot clock is off. 7-point game inside the lane, and once again, Elijah Holyfield scores. He might have his career high by halftime. It's 28 points in this first half. 10 seconds to go. Kobe McGee with it. The lead is 9 for Western New Mexico. Trying to pick up their 7th victory and 5th in league play. McGee with 1 second, drops it off underneath. Awuzie missed the layup. And the Rattlers will head into the locker room trying to solve something that they weren't able to come up with. Again, you see it, a pretty solid move. Zach Keller's had a nice half. The Rattlers have shot the ball pretty well. But now it's at the point where St. Mary's has got to find a way to play some defense here in the next 20 minutes. We'll take a timeout. 58-49, Western New Mexico leading St. Mary's. We're back with Coach Jason Martins on the other side of this Lone Star Conference game.
Hey, what's up, Rattler? How are you doing today? I'm here with Carlos, the instrumental coordinator, and he's going to give you some reminders.
So tonight we have our 5:30 game with volleyball, and we also have our 7 with the 2 undefeated teams for the season. So we're battling for playoffs and the seeding.
Also, if you can't make it out to those, we also have a women's basketball game at 5:30 and a men's basketball game at 7:30. Come on out and watch it. We'll see you then.
Before the storm rolls in, expect the KSAT Storm Chaser to be rolling out with our new mobile weather station. Expect live storm tracking from both our studio and the road.
Expect updates and warnings straight from the storm.
And on KSAT.com, expect our roof cam to be streaming live. Protect your family with a new level of local team coverage. Your weather authority, KSAT 12 and the Storm Chaser. Expect more.
A strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions.
And we welcome you back to Bill Greehey Arena.
A strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
And we welcome you back to Bill Greehey Arena. Andrew Stossmeister back along with Jason Martins. Halftime score 58-49 in the men's game. We'll get back to that momentarily. Appreciate Coach for coming over and chatting with us. Coach, obviously heartbreaking tonight in a lot of ways. You guys fought all the way through and tried to do some good things, but ultimately in the end, it just came up a little bit short. Couldn't get the ball to go in the basket enough. Yeah, I mean, and we've talked about it before. You know, what do you have to do when the three's not falling? And we've talked about that before and said, hey, look, I think we can do something here, but at the same time, you got to find ways to create some offense, in crucial moments.
No, for sure, and we had some opportunities around the basket that we missed. I thought we settled a lot of times 4 to the 3 when we could have got the ball inside, but then on the flip side is we missed a bunch of chippies as well. So that's it's pick your poison, and I think every poison killed us tonight.
On the positive side, I thought you guys rebounded really well. I know you missed some shots, but you guys really controlled that aspect.
No, we did, and that's something we've been really good at here the last month, and we talked about before the games, like, hey, go get those rebounds, go get those opportunities, and again, we have 61 rebounds or whatever it was tonight. That's obviously a great game, just a lot of them, unfortunately, were our misses.
Yeah, you don't want to have, a game where you guys go plus 20 and rebound the heck out of it. Hannah has a career game, 24 rebounds and 15 points, but obviously that means some shots aren't falling, which means, like you said, you got to go back to, hey, we got to be willing to, attempt those twos a little bit more.
No, for sure. We got to get back in, get in the gym, get some shots up, try to find ways to get some easy baskets, and it's back to the drawing board tomorrow and get ready for a tough game on Saturday.
Yeah, reality is you guys got 4 more left, and obviously Saturday's a big game against UTPB.
Yeah, for sure. They're very good team. They play a different style of basketball than we're going to be used to. Going to trap us the whole game, so we're going to have to take care of the ball. We're going to have to make basketball plays. It's going to be tough to run our offense because it's just going to be, all right, play basketball. Pass the ball, make layups, make shots, take care of the ball. We'll see if we can do it.
He's head coach Jason Martins. Appreciate the time, buddy.
Hey, thank you.
We'll catch up with him again on Saturday. Again, Rattlers are back here at 2 p.m. 58-49 is our halftime score. The women did fall tonight in overtime by a final of 80-75. We'll come back and take a look at the Lone Star Conference scoreboard on the other side of this timeout. This is Rattler Basketball. Back with more next on the Lone Star Conference Network.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create.
What's up, Rattler Nation? How you guys doing today? I'm here with the Code Blue Dance team, and what are some things about the Code Blue Dance team that you can share with us right now?
Are a dance team. The dance team here at St. Mary's. We're an elite dance team that does jazz, hip hop, lyrical, and pop. And we will be having auditions at the end of this semester. We accept guys and girls, so just be looking for our flyers.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. Thank you, and we're signing off. What's up, Rattler? How are you doing? Brandon here again, but I'm also here with our student spotlight guest, Andrea. So what are some of the responsibilities that you do here?
Hey y'all, so what I've been recently doing with the athletics department is helping out with the halftime game shows, doing more to get students involved on campus within the sports and recreational realm, and just making sure that the students are having a good time while they're at the games, whether that be tailgates, sponsored events, halftime shows, etc.
And how did this all come about for you?
So I met the athletic director, Rob, over at a law school event. We were talking about student pay for student athletes, and so we got to talking about sports and entertainment and just how the law school can kind of partner with the athletic department to start seeing an increase in games, engagement, and making sure the students are getting what they're wanting.
Well, definitely. Can't wait to work hand in hand with you. And this is us signing off with the Rattler Network. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
A strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Before the storm rolls in, expect the KSAT Storm Chaser to be rolling out with our new mobile weather station. Expect live storm tracking from both our studio and the road.
Expect updates and warnings straight from the storm.
And on KSAT.com, expect our roof cam to be streaming live. Protect your family with a new level of local team coverage. Your weather authority, KSAT 12 and the Storm Chaser. Expect more.
We've been around for a while, and we know how to build a fresher pizza. A real pizza, one made with real fresh and real flavor. A pizza made with different toppings and the unique taste from our culture. And of course, a commitment to better, fresher dough and ingredients. We built a pizza culture where you can fill up on flavor without emptying your wallet. A culture that is quickly becoming the flavor of the neighborhood. Real fresh, real flavor. That's Pizza Patron.
Spirit, we're going to say gold and blue all the time. Support our Rattlers. These are people that were in our classrooms, in the halls, in the cafeteria. We're just out here to support our friends and family.
Definitely understand. Is there any specific things that you come for the game? Do you come for the food? Do you just come for the people? Like, I know you're cheering on people, but like, what keeps you coming back?
What keeps me coming back? Pride that our basketball team is gonna win. That we have faith that they're gonna just shoot threes, sink those threes, field goals all day.
Okay. All right, you heard it here. Let's go see if we can find some other fans around here. All right. So, hi, excuse me, sir. How are you guys doing today? You doing well? Okay. Hi. Brandon? What's your name?
I'm John.
You're John. All right. What keeps you coming back to these games, man?
Oh man, it's fun. I love watching them. It's exciting the way that. Yeah.
How do you think we're gonna do this game right now? We're kind of down. What do you think we got to do?
Still got it. I think we're still in it. You know.
For sure, definitely. All right. Well, you started here first, folks. See you later, Rattler Nation. Thank you.
Welcome back here to Bill Greehey Arena, 58-49 our halftime score. Always good to catch up and see a lot of fans having a good time out here tonight. Watch defense. It's been impressive to watch it all come together. The bad news is the other teams shot the ball better. And I think, if you like offense, it was, honest to goodness, I mean, I think it was like watching the NBA that first 20 minutes, the way both teams were shooting. And I say it that way with all due respect because I know a lot of people love the NBA. And, I enjoy watching really good basketball. That doesn't quite count for me until you get to the postseason. And what I mean by that is both teams offensively, great. Defense, struggled. Both sides. Whoever plays defense is going to win the second half, I think. It's pretty clear. Rattlers had two players in double figures. One surprising one, certainly. Marquise Houston has 13, but Zach Keller in 9 minutes has a career-high 11 points for the youngster out of right here in San Antonio. He played very well, hit all four of the shots that he took in that first half. But a lot of the talk is going to surround Elijah Holyfield, who went for 28 points in that first half, which, trying to touch base on that and see how close it was. I think that is one of the game highs of an individual and a half this season. That was just silly good with what he was able to accomplish across the entirety of the conference, with that. So an impressive 20 minutes, both sides offensively. Let's find out who's going to come out and D up a little bit, because I think it really is somebody comes up and puts together a 5 to 10-0 run. I mean, this thing has a chance to really kind of solidify if it's Western New Mexico. If it's St. Mary's, they can really keep things going as Marquise Houston hits a three-pointer right out of the timeout. Marquise has a team-high 16 points. He has been feeling it from outside. He is 4 of 6. He's hit 7 threes in the game once this season. For those keeping track at home, Holyfield's got it on the other end. Marquise picks him up. He's all over 12 in purple. He's the hot-handed guy. Back out there is Rodney Simon, who was unguardable as well. He scores and has hit all 6 of his buckets in now 7 minutes of game action. He's got 12 points. Emmanuel Awuzie, Caleb Jordan, Houston, Lamont Traylor, and Kobe McGee in the whites running around right now. Sanders, Holyfield, Van Beekum, Simon, and Giron in the purples. Shot clock resets as that ball grazed the rim. Here's Kobe McGee working with it. Drives back out to Marquise, who was not ready for it yet. As Houston stripped, Awuzie picks it up. Ball ricochets. Lamont Traylor back around quickly. Caleb Jordan, who did not play a lot in that first half, in foul trouble, drives to the hoop, knocks a player over. Shot is no good. Lamont Traylor, the putback up and in over Eddie Giron. And a whistle and a stoppage. And I think this is a delay of game. I'll see, as Giron was just kind of laying over there, but honestly, I think just trying not to get trampled on. And the Rattlers hold at 6. We mentioned it. St. Mary's zipping 11 when trailing at halftime, trying to overcome that. But again, I think, despite trailing at the break by 9 points, still very much in the game as Kobe McGee tries to pick up the loose ball. Western New Mexico at the ankles loses it out of bounds as the Mustangs will keep it. Good pressure on the ball. That was interesting. That's why you don't see a lot of players roll it up. Malik Sanders tried to just drop it in and roll it to his teammate. Rattlers pretty quick saw that and nearly jumped on it. First 90 seconds of action here in half number 2. Rattlers currently 13th in conference play. Western New Mexico 15th. Both have a lot to play for. There's a logjam right now in the conference between teams 4 through 8. Really, we've seen West Texas, A&M, and SEU kind of, they're on their own right now. But everybody else, I mean, those spots have a lot of change that go on down, really between 3 and 4 to the next 10 teams that are around them, as that ball is out of bounds. Malik Sanders with a poor pass. Turnover number 8 on Western New Mexico. Rattlers turned it over, by the way, 13 times in that first half. Jaron Presley is back out there. Jaron did not get a lot of minutes. He, in fact, got credited for a minute and a half in that first half. Was in foul trouble. That's why Zach Keller played so much and, quite honestly, had himself a real good start to this basketball game. He's got a young career high for the freshman, 11. Here tonight is Jaron. Pull up 3 from downtown is good. Jaron with his 20th triple of the year. He's the guy you go watch in the back gyms and he's just making them. What we've seen a lot of Holyfield do tonight for the Mustangs. Inside, ball shuffles around, back out to Giron for 3. Missed it. Rebound off of the edge of Lamont Traylor. Ball to the back door. Simon out wide, and now Van Beekum slows it down. Dribble drive inside the lane as Simon goes out of bounds, and he injures that same left knee as he is on his way out of the building. Not all right as Enriquez looks over, and that's an important loss. Hohenstein comes back in. Guy that just went out was trying to work that back in on that left knee, and Rodney Simon. And, man, he has had himself a great game when he's been available, but I think he's hurt, and I don't know if he's coming back. Foul called on St. Mary's, it looks like. No, I'm sorry, it's a 5-second call is what they got on Malik Sanders. Malik just took too much time, never got the ball in, so the Rattlers will take over. Again, they led by 2 a couple of times in that first half, but didn't last very long each time it happened. Chance to tie it with a 3, pull within 1 with a 2. Kobe McGee with it, works it over to Marquise. Houston back underneath to the big fella, Matei Gasper, trying to lay it up. That's where you say, big fella, slam it. He misses the layup twice. Ball ricochets off the backboard. Gasper tries to get it back. Presley has it. Jaron back to Marquise. Three-pointers up too strong. And the rebound deflects. And Holyfield's got it back. Holy cow, down court he goes. Over to Jerome inside. Lots of contact, and there's nothing there. Jerome can't believe it. Rattlers run. Jaron Presley, the layup is up and good. To be completely fair, watching that happen, that had to be either a ton of ball or just the official saying, go get him. Regardless, Rattlers take advantage. They pull it back within one. Malik Sanders has got it, working half court left in the purple jersey. Out to Jerome. Drives, kicks, foul. Underneath is Jerome. That time got to the entrance of the paint and got it down anymore. I swear, everybody thinks, they're getting more and more confused. I feel like I have to define that a little bit more. It's the 15-foot box inside. No university really seems to paint the paint anymore. So kind of used to be a nice box that everybody could tell, but no different here at Buddy and Anna Meyer Court. Nice open floor plan. That's that box that goes around where people shoot free throws. Up top, Jerome working underneath. Lost it. His feet go with him. Ball keeps going anyway. Sanders has got it. High steps inside, and that ball goes off in the hands of Hohenstein, who is not ready. Turnover number 4 in the second half on Western New Mexico. Hey, fans, shop your style with Nike shoes for running, training, basketball, and more. You can shop Nike.com for the ultimate selection of shoes, clothing, and apparel. Free shipping for members plus free 30-day returns. Nike, just do it. Rattlers signaling what they want. They are 4 of 10 to start this second half. They've got 7 straight. Western New Mexico's had turnover problems in their last 3 minutes. That's why they have only taken 2 shots in the first 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Gaspert tries to throw it underneath to Eisenhower, and that play had no chance. Sanders on the baseline, inside the lane, and that's traveling. Hohenstein caught it and took, 4 steps trying to get closer to the hoop. Traveling, turnover. Once again on Western New Mexico is Matt Enriquez, as cool as he can be, standing over there, arms folded, watching this game. Inside to Matej Gaspert, and Matt scores. Assist from Zach Keller. Like to see number 30 coming out and immediately impacting the game. Zach's playing well tonight. Rattlers have the lead for the first time in the second half by 1. Tony Avalos back out there, spins, fires, missed it. Gaspert at the high point brings in the rebound, and a foul is called. We talked about the Rattlers dominant on the glass. One of the reasons was Western New Mexico wasn't missing. But St. Mary's now finds himself plus 14 rebounding in this game. Timeout on the court with 15:36 to play. St. Mary's finds themselves up 61-60. We're back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Network.
We've been around for a while, and we know how to build a fresher pizza. A real pizza, one made with real fresh and real flavor. A pizza made with different toppings and the unique taste from our culture. And of course, a commitment to better, fresher dough and ingredients. We built a pizza culture where you can fill up on flavor without emptying your wallet. A culture that is quickly becoming the flavor of the neighborhood. Real fresh, real flavor. That's Pizza Patron.
Scams, corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions,
and to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable.
60 Rattlers have the lead back. They have not led by more than a couple, and their lead time tonight is limited, to say the least. 24 seconds, but they've got it right now. For the moment, Zach Keller's been a big part of that spark here in this second half. Kobe McGee with the ball right now. Gaspert, Eisenhower, Houston, and Keller running around in the white jerseys. So far, quiet second half from Holyfield, who has not found the cup yet. Out wide, Matej for 3. No good. Rebound deflects out of bounds, and it's off of St. Mary's. Rattlers will have to go back on defense. Looking around the Lone Star Conference here today, the scores that we have for you, running the women's scores first. Cameron beats Tyler. Eastern over Texas Women's. Lubbock wins on the road tonight at Fort Smith. St. Ed's defeats Permian Basin at home. UTPB is here on Saturday. Those are the final scores on the women's side, along with Commerce over Midwestern. And Tarleton beats West Texas A&M. Gasper pulling in the rebound right there for St. Mary's. St. Mary's trying to get back to work on the offensive end. They've gotten a lot more shots. Western New Mexico has been limited as Matt goes up strong. He missed it, but the follow tip out there by Marquise Houston, the senior out of Houston, is up and in. Rattlers have a large lead at 3 points. Avalos, the answer at the other end is good. Nice move inside by sophomore Tony Avalos. He wanted the and one. He won't get it there, but pretty good finish at the rim. Rattlers did not get back and play defense. 63-62. Both teams offensively staying up there, though. Unprecedented half to this game for Western New Mexico. Shooting 70% most of that way. Missed their last shot to bring them down to 68. Here's Kobe McGee from 15 feet away. Straight on is up and in, and the Rattlers are 7-15 here in half number 2. Back out to a 3-point advantage. Again, we talked about it. Who's going to play defense first? Right now, it's St. Mary's has played a little bit more. Had to make up a 9-0 run. They have got 13 of the last 15 points scored in 5 minutes. Playing pretty good right now on both ends of the court. Noah Lang ready to sub in. He'll come in for Marquise. Caleb Jordan's minutes have been limited tonight. He has had foul trouble. And I think it's allowed guys like Zach Keller, Noah Lang, play a little bit more than they are used to, and they have excelled. Inside the lane, C.J. Van Beekum scores. He's got 5. Again, Simon, who went out, is back on the bench. Good to see, but he looks like he's got both the shin guards and the knee pads are both off, so I'd expect his night is over. As we get an offensive foul called on Matt Gaspert. Turnover number 16 for the St. Mary's Rattlers. St. Mary's 13th in the Lone Star at 6-11. Western New Mexico is 15th at 2 fewer victories, but they're within a game and a half of 12th place. And again, there's so many log jams across. I mean, teams 4 through 8 right now are separated by maybe a half a game, and then the next tier of teams are separated by 2 games, and that's the next 6. I mean, it's crazy. In Western New Mexico, who you'd say 15 out of 18 teams, they're out, right? They're not. They're actually right there. They're going to have some chances as the give and go underneath is finished off. Van Beekum the score, Avalos the assist. And Western New Mexico is back in front. 4th lead change of the night. Kobe McGee left open. That's not a good idea. Kobe missed it. Rebound trickles to the corner, and Malik Sanders chases it down for the Mustangs. Good hustle out there as Noah Lang fouls Avalos. And tell you what, number 4 out there is moving in purple. He's got some pretty good wheels. He is induced a lot of fouls. Didn't talk a lot about that at halftime, but St. Mary's had, I think, 5 guys that had at least 2 fouls at the break. One of them sitting on the bench still. Caleb Jordan, who picked one up pretty quickly. Matt's got 4. He's playing, and that shot is good. Count it in the foul. One more coming at the line for Tony Avalos, who averages 7 points a game. Really come on strong in his last 7. He's one of the guys that has accelerated his game in the last month and a half since Matt Enriquez took over. He misses the bonus, but he's a good player, and you can see it. He's not a big kid, but he's skilled, certainly. Right side, Zach Keller with it, and a foul away from the ball. Lamont Traylor underneath, and look at that. Rodney Simon's back out there, and Simon, who checked in quickly, draws a lot of attention. Looks like he's okay. Moving out there, maybe just took the pads off, didn't like what was going on. Underneath, ball deflected, and Malik Sanders and the Mustangs take over. Their lead is 3 points. They have led by as many as 10 tonight. As Leonard left open, he missed the 3 straight on, pretty off to the left. And Lamont Traylor the rebound for St. Mary's. Western New Mexico has cooled some. They're 5 of 9 in the second half. They've missed both their 3-point attempts, though. You wonder where's 12. He's out there. Not at the present moment, but he's had himself a big night as we get tied up inside the lane. Noah Lang trying to free up with Avalos, who is on the deck right now. We've reached immediate timeout. 11:58 to play. That foul is called on Western New Mexico. St. Mary's has the ball on the other side. They trail it 68-65 following the 6-0 Mustang run. We're back with more next here on the Lone Star Conference Network.
Scams, corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions,
and to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the
Thank you, Robert.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable.
What's up?
Scams, corruption, cover-ups. KSAT's defenders don't just track down those at fault.
We do more. We hold them accountable.
Depend on the defenders to dig deeper, to ask the tough questions,
and to get the answers you deserve.
Was there ever a point where you started having concerns?
You are not a charitable organization.
Months of investigation.
We'll take it on.
Confronting the powerful.
We're there.
Facts matter, and San Antonio deserves the truth. Expect the defenders to hold them accountable.
Back in San Antonio, 11:58 to play here in half number 2. Rattlers are down 3. They picked up a lead. They have outscored actually Western New Mexico 16-10, but the Mustangs are on a 6-0 run. Rattlers need an answer. Kobe McGee with the ball right now, joined with Traylor, Dylan Eisenhower, Marquise Houston, and Zach Keller. Houston and Keller are both in double figures. Gaspert as well, who is on the bench with 4 fouls, as Keller to the cup is fouled and will head to the line for 2 shots. Good job by Zach Keller, man. You talk about plus-minus for that young man tonight. It is good. He has really impacted the game, I think, exceptionally well. He's got 11 points. 11 points, 3 rebounds, a couple of assists. He has done his job very well, and making the free throw helps that as well. And, we're talking about a guy, folks. You got to remember that this is a kid that really has not played a lot yet this year. I mean, he's averaging less than 6 minutes a game. This is only his 10th game in 24 now this season. And really a lot of that has been at the end of the last minute or so. So first time he's seeing some extensive time is, he's taking the place more of Jaron Presley, who's been in some foul trouble, and then another guy out there is Caleb Jordan. I mean, he's the third point guard, really, that you get to. Played very well. Western New Mexico a little bit flat compared to what they did in half number 1. Van Beekum right now with it as the ball is deflected out of bounds. 10 on the shot clock. Again, leading scorer Elijah Holyfield is on the bench sitting right now. In that first half, Holyfield played almost all 20 minutes. Scored 28 points. He's breathing on the bench right now, still trying to catch his breath, it looks like. Offensive rebound on the baseline. Nobody grabbed it. A lot of contact over there. Bubba Meyer and Coach Z can't believe it. These guys are beside themselves. Avalos inside the lane. Spins to his left and finishes. My goodness, that's a great finish right there. He's got 13. And tell you what, we talked about it. I thought St. Mary's had a great sense of desperation in the beginning of this game. Have stayed with it, got the lead a couple of times. But right now, Western New Mexico has kind of reinforced that on their end. Houston with 18 points drops the basketball. Give credit, Malik Sanders knocked it free. Avalos at the other end, coming down court, throws it through the hands of Leonard. He regathers it in, establishes his balance, and resets the possession. 10.5 to go here from Bill Greehey in San Antonio. Lean inside, Malik Sanders scores. There's his second shot of the game, and it goes in. Sanders more the distributor. He's got 6 assists tonight, makes 89 on the season. And the Rattlers back down 2 possessions. Keller with a screen from Lamont Traylor. There's the roll. They don't see Lamont. They don't get it to him. Now Eisenhower on a handoff screen over to the left side with Kobe McGee. You can see guys are starting to get a little bit more tired. 7 on the shot clock as McGee tries to crush one across. It's taken away by Avalos. Inside the lane, drops it behind him. The layup is up and good by Malik Sanders. And Jim Zelsnick has to call time. 9:51 to go. We'll stay here for this timeout. But a nice-looking run right now for Western New Mexico. They've hit 7 of their last 9 shots, and probably jinxed them. When you go 28 of 42, folks, that's pretty darn good. They have come out and been aggressive here in the second half, and they just continue to attack. The Rattlers are rebounding well. They're shooting the ball okay, 7 of 16 in the second half. They've got 10 threes tonight. Offensively, they're okay, but on defense, got to find a way to respond. Right now, Western New Mexico is just running the floor, and it's almost gotten to the pickup game status because of the way both teams are executing offensively. They look like college basketball players that are working really, really hard, but at the same time, you got to step in front of the guy and at least make things a little bit more challenging. Fans, don't forget tomorrow we've got stuff outside where it's really nice out. It's been a couple of cold days this week in San Antonio in the 40s, but baseball returns to once again a fun spot to watch outside here at the baseball stadium. Should be a good time over there at Dixon Stadium. West Texas A&M is in town. The Buffs out of Canyon came last season, and it was a couple of 4 really good games. They're here all weekend. 5 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have that game for you on the Lone Star Conference Network. Yeah, but you talk about WT being here on Saturday. Play 2 games, 1 and 3:30. Have basketball going on at the same time, and then Sunday the getaway day on Sunday. It'll be at 1 o'clock. Caleb Jordan checks back in and scores. It's like he's got his game going together. Apologies, got Rodney asking me, hey, who's in that score? If you get an official asking you something, you usually respond. Back in the game, by the way, is Elijah Holyfield, as that shot is up and it is good. We get another delay out there on the court. But Holyfield, who comes right back in and scores, you could just see that he was going to be a part of that. And I beg your pardon, it was actually Hohenstein who got those points, but a quick delay over there, warning from the referees. Game is ballooned back out to 7. Rattlers, remember, made up a 9-point deficit, had a 13-2 run. We're in position. Eisenhower underneath to Awuzie, who is fouled by the smallest guy out there, who's actually picking him up on the deck anyway. And Emmanuel did not see that coming. He's going for the 2-handed flush. And a foul is called on Western New Mexico. That's a good foul by Western. Valos was not obviously going to win that battle, but good to see that he kind of caught Emmanuel from not seeing that at all. Is Awuzie too strong on that free throw. M's been working on that. He knows he's got to be better at it. That's I'm sure, it's going to be high on the list of things come season's end. Substitution real quick into the game. As Avalos has to go out. That is Avalos. They have that down as his 4th or 5th foul. They got to check on that and see. The scoreboard's got him down for 4. Some have him down for 5. Emmanuel misses both free throws. 9 minutes to go. 7-point game. Ball deflected into the arms of Holyfield, who falls into Marquise Houston, and a foul is called. That's Marquise is going, what? But that was correct. At the same time, that's just kind of one of those incidental moments. Can't really do much about it, but it is the 7th team foul on St. Mary's. 1-1 for the guy that has missed 4 times tonight. He misses a 5th. Awuzie's got the rebound. Holyfield's a 67% free throw shooter, by the way. Dylan Eisenhower, other end for 3 is good. Dylan with his 2nd triple of the night. Give him 20 for the season. Rattlers, that's a good 2 for 1 right there. Back to a 4-point game. Got to keep D'ing up. Malik Sanders for Western New Mexico, back around the arc. We talked about it for the Mustangs coming into this game. They score points. They're pretty good at it. 76 a game. They are the worst team defensively in the league. They give up 84, excuse me. Shot is off. Eisenhower has the pullback, and Holyfield, who put that up, comes up limp just a little bit at the other end. 5-on-4 for St. Mary's. Rattlers don't see it. Now they're looking for it as Awuzie is calling for the ball. There's nobody that can guard 6'8", right? Houston's got it. 3-pointer straight on is off the mark right, and a foul is called. Really almost as that ball went up. Somebody was holding on to someone. I think Emmanuel's getting hounded down there. 7:56 to play. We got a media timeout. We'll step aside. Rattlers trail by 4. Western New Mexico is at 4 of their last 5 shots. But the Rattlers within striking distance. 7:56 to play. We're back after the 60-second timeout on the Lone Star Conference Network.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
7:56 to play here in the second half. Rattlers down 76-72. Andrew Stossmeister back on behalf of our great crew. Thanks so much for joining us here in San Antonio at St. Mary's University. Western New Mexico, a team that we talked about, they like to score points. They've done a good job at it tonight. You know, when they haven't reached 80, they have lost 15 of 18 games. As Emmanuel Awuzie hits the 1-and-1 free throw. It's the 7th team foul committed by Western right before that timeout. It's important for Emmanuel to try to get one more. That's his first point of the game. He's now got 2. But on the other side, the Rattlers, when they score with people, you know, if they get to 80, numbers tilt in their favor. They're 6-1 this season. Honestly, right now, it looks like they're heading in that direction. Malik Sanders open from downtown, misses the 3. Caleb Jordan chases down the rebound. And St. Mary's has got it back. They have led in the second half. They trail by 9 at halftime. But offensively, they've been dialed in tonight. Here's Kobe McGee. Elbow right jumper is good. Kobe's got 7. And Coach Zelznick calls a quick timeout. Try to bring everybody over, I believe he called that. Check and see. So use that 30. Doesn't really go anywhere with you. Rattlers get a 7-0 run because of it. We talked about it again. Baseball is home this weekend. West Texas A&M will be here. Softball is on the road. They're down in Tucson, Arizona. Don't worry, they're coming home. They'll be home in a couple of weeks. So that will be here, it seems like, before you know it. Men's scores around the Lone Star Conference tonight looks like this as folks are just starting to obviously get into the second half. Cameron and Tyler, a 2-point game with 3 minutes actually left in that game. Oklahoma Christian leads Angelo in that game by 3 points. Eastern New Mexico is beating Dallas Baptist tonight. That's an interesting game. Eastern's played pretty well this season. They continue to put some nice things together out of Portales in that group. Other game, West Texas A&M leading Tarleton. They've now pushed that up to a 14-point advantage. And St. Ed's and UT Permian Basin. St. Ed's has an advantage at 10 points at halftime was the last report. We'll try to check in on that and see where it goes. We get a foul called right here on St. Mary's. It is their 8th. 1-and-1 at the foul line is no good. Western New Mexico, 74% at the free throw line. They have struggled in spurts here tonight. But if there's anything, if that's their worst thing, you know, it could be much worse. They're still shooting 65% from the field. Eisenhower left open, 3-pointer, rims up and out. Caleb Jordan had the ball, lost it. It got deflected out of bounds. It's off of Western New Mexico. Tie basketball game with 7:03 to play. Short spurt without points for the Mustangs the last 2 minutes and 18 seconds. St. Mary's has 7 in a row. Trying to regain the lead. Their lead time is very small tonight. Kobe McGee looks at his spot. 3-pointer, rims up and out. Awuzie has got the rebound. He's 7, and a layup is up and good. Good job by Emmanuel. Working it down low, being patient. And the Rattlers regain the lead. St. Mary's has led for 2 minutes and 46 seconds and counting in this game. Not many. They don't get in front of Malik Sanders, who goes right by and scores and ties the game back up. And those are some of those little minutes where sure coaches over there going, come on. You got to make it happen right here. 6:23 to go. Awuzie works it around to Caleb Jordan. Rattlers have 4 players in double figures right now, led by Marquise Houston, as Jordan is fouled by Hohenstein underneath. On the other side, 3 players in double figures, but much less of a couple of guys. And right now you got some of the top players about set to come back in. Now, Avalos, they still have him down for 5 fouls. The board put him up as 4, and Hohenstein just picked up his 4th. It's a team that does foul a lot. Is Caleb Jordan. Money at the free throw line. He's the best in the league, at least in terms of statistics that are of availability. Now, Andrew Leonard, they had him down, and I had to go back and try to check, but Leonard would technically be ahead of him, but I don't know if he hasn't qualified. He's shooting 94% from the line as Jordan misses. Inside the lane is Eisenhower. Tried to go for the tip-in and missed. Caleb's an 85% free throw shooter. Doesn't miss many. It's the 16th time he's missed in almost 100. So, I mean, he's been pretty good. The numbers have held true. Got 6 minutes to play. Rattlers by a point. Offensive foul on Holyfield. You can't believe it. Holyfield had 28 points in the first half, folks. He's got zip in half number 2. You know, but at the same time, maybe he's thinking, I had 9 at halftime. Or we're up 9 at halftime. Maybe he could take his foot off the gas a little bit. Not to be the case. Rattlers have withstood the furious run by him. Inside the lane, Awuzie, nowhere to go. Has to get out of the paint, does so. Kobe's throwing it back down to 32 and white. Awuzie going to work on Rodney Simon. Strong to the cup, lays it up and in. Nice move by Emmanuel. You know, he found his offensive game, I thought, on Saturday. Had 7 shots that he took. He hadn't taken more than 4 shots in a game. Actually, it was the Kingsville game on Thursday. Went 4 of 7. Found double figures, or found 9 points in that game. Here's a lob down low, and that's where you look at it. Malik Sanders go, come on, buddy. Come on, teammate. C.J. Van Beekum had a matchup, but he ended up not getting up for the ball. Rattlers have their large lead of the game. Once again, 3 points. It holds for a possession. I think this is the first time in the game it's actually held. They've had a couple of 3-point leads, but Western New Mexico has scored on the ensuing possession each time. Not many lead changes, a handful of them. 5 to be exact. Kobe McGee, corner left with 5 minutes to go. Caleb Jordan floating one-hander, air ball, but picked up, and Emmanuel Awuzie shoots and scores. And the Rattlers are up 5, 83-78. Rattlers going with the offense as the foul is called on the other end. Elijah Holyfield so quick to the cup. And again, you see it from Western New Mexico. This is part of the challenge that Matt Enriquez had when he was the full-time head coach. It's the same problem as the interim head coach. You know, it's trying to find that leadership aspect. And, you know, Holyfield was a guy that I think he was aware of, but he was recruited by Matt, who coached for 4 games and left from health reasons. But, you know, it's one of those things where you look at it, sometimes you say, come on, guys, got to go get some. Got to be aggressive. And right now he's got his team playing pretty well. They've won 3 of their last 5, and they know that this is not an easy road trip. Last time that Western New Mexico won in San Antonio, it was not pretty. They have never actually technically won here in San Antonio. Their lone win comes from that 06 season in Silver City when the teams played 3 times in like 14 days, I think it was. It was one of those weird Heartland rules that year where you played everybody a couple times. Western New Mexico in their 1 year they were in it. It was crazy. These guys obviously were not really around to see it as Dylan Eisenhower lays it up and in and is fouled. He gets to go to the line for a bonus. Rattlers have won all 3 times that they've played here at Bill Greehey Arena. And that is the 5th foul of the game on Rodney Simon. That's so he will exit. Pretty efficient night for him. Matt Enriquez not happy with him, saying, come on, got to pick it up. Simon, who picked up a couple fouls, remember played 6 minutes in the first half, went 4-4. He made all 6 of his shots. But his offense was great. His defense could use some work. St. Mary's gets the free throw, and they've got a 6-point lead. Avalos inside. He's playing with foul trouble as he scores. Hits the deck, trying to get one more. Not going to. And again, this is where you look at it for Western New Mexico. You can see Coach Enriquez is just, come on, trying to get a foul call. He's not found much. 4 minutes to go, 86-82. Might be looking at the century mark for both teams at this rate. It's been on par. Rattlers had 49 at halftime. Western New Mexico at 58. Final media timeout of regulation. 86-82. The Rattlers have made up the deficit and have held their largest lead of this game. Can they hold on? 86-82. We find out next. This is Rattler basketball back after this timeout on the Lone Star Conference Network.
A strong tradition of academic excellence, a commitment to community, and a rich history of athletic success, the Lone Star Conference has long been known as a leader in intercollegiate athletics. Now with 19 institutions that embody the best in college sports, the Lone Star Conference is the largest and most dynamic conference in NCAA Division II. 19 members strong, 19 members proud. This is the new Lone Star Conference.
.358 to play here in the second half. The Rattlers have come out and continued to shoot the ball very well. They have put up 37 points. Western New Mexico, a few more turnovers, not as many. They have kind of had some gaffes. Holyfield did get a couple of points his last time down, but 28 in the first half, 2.5 number 2. Western New Mexico is going to need him if they want to make a run as Dylan Eisenhower drives and an offensive foul is called. Eisenhower did not realize where Ian Hohenstein was at, and Hohenstein, that's a gutsy call for him. He had 4 fouls. He does get the charge, and it will be a turnover. Odd game, say the least. 5 lead changes, 4 ties officially, as Avalos, before the drive, is fouled. I think he's fouled by Caleb Jordan. Caleb has had a rough go at it tonight. 7 points. He's got 14 fouls on the evening, and quite honestly, his minutes have been limited. We've seen a lot of Zach Kell, a lot of Noah Lang a little bit more, Jaron Presley as well. Double bonus right now for the Western New Mexico Mustangs. That is the 11th foul committed by St. Mary's. 24 tonight. That's well above their average. They've done a good job of not fouling people. Tonight, a little different. Second free throw is good from Avalos. She's got 17 points. That ties his season high that he had last week against Arkansas Fort Smith. Played very well. He's had to battle with 4 fouls most of the second half. Kobe McGee with it. Leading scorer is Marquise Houston, but Marquise has been on 18 for the last 12 minutes. Jordan back out, and another offensive foul is called on Caleb Jordan, and Caleb's just kind of looking in disbelief right now. Not real happy as Coach Z is going to go get Zach Keller, as Caleb Jordan's just kind of, what do I do? That was a tough call. 3:17 to play. Rattlers by a bucket. As bad as that is for Jordan, he's got one more foul. He's not out of the game, but it's not a bad thing. Zach Keller's played really well tonight, I think. Really relished on that playing time. He's been ready. You never know when that moment comes as a young player, and there are not very many of them, I promise. Reach-in foul. Is this on Avalos? If it is, his game is over. Avalos can't believe it. Well, that's a touch call right there. Emmanuel Awuzie goes to the other end, and Avalos just can't believe it. He just fouled out. 17 points in this game. He'll finish with 4 assists, couple of rebounds, and he's quite honestly been the offense in this second half, not including Elijah Holyfield, who just hasn't really had it. Awuzie misses the free throw. Emmanuel has had a tough go tonight. Made 1 out of 4 tries. That one is good. 3-point game with 3:01 to play. Rattlers trying to pick up a 7th league victory. UTPB is here this weekend. These are the only two teams that are going to be really close to them the rest of the way. Dallas Baptist, St. Ed's, Tarleton State, all really good teams. They know how important this is. Takeaway at the other end. McGee runs the floor, lays it up and in and finishes. Great job. Keller knocked it free, and the Rattlers by 5 points. They're getting close. Ball dropped off in the lane, a little bit wild, and it's saved by Eisenhower. Kobe McGee again running one-on-one as Jerome is knocked to the deck and fouled. And the guys standing and clapping on the bench for the folks in the white jerseys. 89-84. And this is what we talked about. Again, Western New Mexico on the offense. You can see a lot of energy used on that side. Defensively, less. Kobe McGee for the free throw is good. Kobe now with 10 points. He becomes the 5th player for the Rattlers to cross 10+. Second toss for Kobe is good. He's a 56% or 66% free throw shooter, but he doesn't shoot them very often. It's very rare for him to miss. He's a streaky guy at the line. Holyfield does not have what he did in the first half. He scored 28 points. He missed 3 times officially is what they had him down for. He has not made any of his field goals in the second half. He's only taken 3 shots. He's got 2 points at the foul line. He's got 30. One off of his career high, which is 31. Kobe McGee, step back 2 with 6 on the shot clock is no good. Eisenhower tips it. He tiptoes the baseline and gathers in the rebound. Rattlers are cleaning house on the glass right now. 25 right now. Saw one team go plus 20 on the rebounds earlier tonight, though they lost. Kobe McGee crossing the lane. Underneath, and what a find over there to Dylan Eisenhower. Foul is called beforehand, and it is a foul. It is called on Western New Mexico's Eddie Jerome. That's his second personal foul. Again, Avalos has already fouled out. Hohenstein's got 4. Simon has already fouled out as well. And that's part of, again, it goes back to the discipline and the leadership. For Matt Enriquez, you know, the interim head coach was the head guy for 3 years, moved into an administrator role, and because the head coach that was hired did not last but 4 games, he's volunteered to step back in, but right now he's just trying to keep his guys close. You know, it's a tough thing, and I think I've talked about it before. I'll just kind of briefly mention it again. You know, winning out there in Silver City is hard because nothing is close there. You know, and I've talked to actually at length about it with Matt Enriquez. This is a team that's, you know, they were in the RMAC for a while. They thought about going to the MIAA, then they joined the Lone Star, and they said, you know, in football they've competed, but a lot of other sports, they've struggled in a lot of ways, and it's an uphill battle. Big reason, you know who their travel partner is? It's Texas Permian Basin, which is 400-some miles. You know, 450 miles, I think, to Permian out there in West Texas. So, I mean, just for comparison, St. Mary's counterpart, you know, their travel partner is St. Ed's, 60 miles. Big difference, okay? You know, everywhere they have to go. They'll play UTPB here in the next couple of weeks, but, you know, it's a challenge as Malik Sanders is fouled at the other end. 2 free throws coming for Western New Mexico, but, I mean, they have an uphill battle because everything is typically on the road for them. You know, obviously you get your home games and people have to travel in, and, you know, Western has played pretty well at home over the years, but it's going away that, you know, is the biggest challenge for them. 93-85 after that made attempt. Western, as we mentioned, they get to this runner. They've won a lot of their games. Second free throw is no good. 85 points, pretty good night for most teams. Rattlers got 93. It's the most they have had in some time. I believe it's the most that they have in conference play, for that matter. Again, having to work around to Travis Keller, wide open underneath, scores. Zach Keller continues to add on. Another assist to Kobe McGee. Make him 130 for the evening now. Averaging more than 5, but another layup at the other end for C.J. Van Beekum. So good, the Rattlers have hit 4 of their last 5. Their offense is not tailed. They have been very consistent the entire game as McGee is fouled, and there are no fouls to give on the other end. Both teams are in the double bonus. Right now, Western New Mexico has to hope St. Mary's misses a few. Rattlers at the line, one of the last two teams, 66%. At times they've been lights out. Kobe McGee tosses and misses. First miss at the stripe tonight. Rattlers are 18 of 25. That's 72%, folks. One more coming as Kobe knocks it down. Maybe enough. 9-point game, 50 seconds left. Holyfield cuts, can't find him the ball as Jerome slips. He's on the deck. Got the ball back out to Van Beekum. Out to the right side with Sanders. Missed the three. Offensive rebound. Hohenstein gets it back. 36 seconds to go. Holyfield from downtown with a high arcing three-pointer. He's got a new career high 33 points. My goodness. Kid can't shoot the ball. Foul the other end on Western New Mexico. 6-point game. Couple free throws here, you feel pretty good. I would say the Rattlers, again, their season high 102 that they put up earlier this season against Bethany College. A little bit different opponent here tonight in Western New Mexico as Kobe McGee scores. Rattlers' previous high was 86 in league play. Blown right by that one by now 12 points. Kobe McGee with two more. He's got 17 points. Played very well. Western New Mexico, desperation time for them, and a three is good by Malik Sanders. That's his 31st of the season. McGee has to free it up to Dylan Eisenhower. Keller across the court. Emmanuel Lawuzier trying to catch, almost traveled with it. He might have, and Coach Enriquez can't believe it. And I don't think Emmanuel did. I think he just caught it awkwardly and kind of was trying to collect it. That's not traveling. Marquise Houston eventually fouled with 13.9 seconds left. 5-point game. Again, if you're Western, you gotta hope for a miss. Marquise does not. He is 3 of 5 tonight. Houston, a 75% free throw shooter with a team high 19. Well, 5 guys to double figures tonight, folks. It's pretty good. Coach Zelznick is asking for a quick timeout. That'll be his last. It's not like it goes with you, so he says, why not? And how about that? That point puts St. Mary's at the century mark, 100 of them. A pretty good night tonight for St. Mary's. They have continued to shoot the ball well, 33 of 65. Tell you what, I had a really funny conversation with Bubba Meyer beforehand that I'm sure he won't be happy that I reveal, but I said, obviously this is a big game tonight. He's like, we got to score points. And he said, I'm not sure, scoring 120 points in 2 games the way that we've played sometimes. We really haven't shot the ball very well at home. Well, we'll see what he has to say tonight afterwards. Don't forget, check social media. St. Mary's Rattlers will have an interview with Coach afterwards. Looking like it could be a real good one this evening. 100-93. Rattlers relentless on offense. 33 of 65 shooting. They're 11 of 22 from behind the arc. Just 3 of 10 in the second half, but they've gotten to the line 30 times. 3-0. 23 of 30. That's a good-looking number. You're going to win a lot of games when you do that. That's the most they have taken this season. They had 20, that's one off of the most. They took 31 free throw attempts at International, and they're winning overtime. They hit 20 of them, so they've been better tonight. Very composed. They've stayed with it. A couple of big nights tonight from guys that you haven't seen much, but even Awuzie and Jordan have scored 7 each. 5 guys in double figures. Sanders is covered. 3-pointer. Eisenhower in his face. No good. Presley's got the rebound. He gets it out over to Marquise Houston. And with 2.6 seconds to go, the Rattlers look like they've got win number 11 in their pocket. Great job tonight by St. Mary's. Tell you what number is going to look the most fun to them. And despite trailing again at halftime by 11, or by 9, excuse me, as Jaron Presley misses the free throw. But the number that's going to help them, I think, the most is trailing at halftime. Haven't won a game in 11 tries. Tonight, both teams that trailed at halftime are going to win games. Jaron goes 1 for 2, 101 points tonight for the Rattlers. Sanders can pick it up for one more shot. He does so. 3-pointers up, hits the backboard, nothing else. As that shot will not count anyway. And the Rattlers, back-to-back W's. They win here tonight, 101-93. 102-93. Rattlers get their 7th league victory. Western New Mexico falls to 6-18. They're now 4-11 in conference play. They're going to have to win probably 3 of their last 4 games to make the conference tournament. This is a big blow to that opportunity. Well, big thanks again to our entire staff tonight for joining us. I'm Andrew Stossmeister. Thanks so much for stopping by. Rattlers season high 101 points in Lone Star Conference action. They shoot the ball lights out, 33 of 65. Don't forget, you can follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. We've got it for you. We're going to talk to assistant coach Bubba Meyer on there. But signing off tonight here this evening, we invite you to join us. Baseball tomorrow. Basketball is back here on Saturday at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock. Texas Permian Basin will be here. We hope you will join us then. Your final tonight, the Rattlers win it 101-93 over Western New Mexico. This has been St. Mary's Basketball. Have a good rest of your night on the Lone Star Conference Network.